Hey, my name is Xavier, and this is my Unreal Engine project. So we're gonna start off with the anim grab. As you can see, I put a slot. From this is where I put the crouch animation basically. So from idle to crouch, I have is crouching positive, and well, not positive, true. It is crouching is true, and it enters into the animation. And I have the exact opposite for crouching to idle run. So is crouching not boolean, it'll get back up. And here's the crouching animation right here where I plugged it into, grabbed it from right here. And for crouch to crouch moving, I'll put from speed to a float is greater than or equal to. I put 10 right here, and I put the and boolean, and is crouching is true, and you'll be able to move while crouching. Same thing for here, but I put a float is less than or equal to 5, and is crouching is true, and boolean, and he'll enter into the animation. Alright, that's it for the anim BP, or for the anim grab. We're gonna move on to the actual blueprints. This is the vault in. This is the vault animation. I'm gonna start off with this one because this is probably the largest blueprint I've ever done. So it all started off with a forward vector and an after location. Well, really it all started for the input action, which is the V key. Use the V key to vault over walls. As you can see, my variables, I have wall location, wall normal, wall height. Basically just tying into the height of the wall and how the wall is and how our character will jump or vault over the wall. And I'll show you where I put the vault animation. So for this, I just used the anim montage. Where is it at? Right here. This is the vaulting anim montage. So I just connected it to the character, the character's movement, and everything else that ties into making this animation possible. For the crouch, it was really short. I put the input action, which is the left control, and I use the flip flop. That way you'll be able to get into it and get out. And this is the crouch, and then uncrouch. Of course, I set the crouch to true and the uncrouch to false, and that helps with the crouching. The ball bounce, basically, that's for a trap. Basically, you jump on it and then you'll jump off the ball. And this is the blueprint for it. Basically, this is if I can zoom in, this is a custom event called bounce. I used the jump velocity first, so I connected it to the character movement. Then I added the jump animation in there, and then I have a delay, and then the velocity, meaning the height of the jump. And yeah, I'll show you that at the end of the breakdown. This is the you win. This is for the finish line. Basically it all started with the box trigger. That's where I use or develop my checkpoints. The box trigger, basically when you pass the box, it's like an invisible box. So when you pass the box, well, matter of fact, well, I'll show you at the end. But basically, you pass the box, and it triggers a target. And if you fall off the map, you'll respawn back over there. And I created multiple of these, including at the finish line. But instead of respawn it just pauses the game and basically says you win, which is the win screen widget, which I'll show you after this. Basically it shows the win and it adds it to the viewport so you can see the you win on the screen, and it disables any input and it stops the game. Alright, and that's everything for the anim BPs. Alright, this is the timer blueprint. So basically, this is the timer right here. I know it looks kind of weird. So basically, when you see the timer on the screen, that's why it's all jumbled up like this. I had to connect them all together, and the reason why it's smushed like this is because I was trying to. So for the minutes and the two dots, I try to get them, perfectly aligned. So that's why it's like this. And this is the blueprint for it. So event tick, it has a delay. I have variables for seconds and minutes. So for seconds, it pops up every 1 second, and I set it. And then for the minutes, I added a branch. So for the minutes, every 60 seconds, well, not 60, 59, for every 59 seconds, 1 minute will pop up, and yeah, you have your timer. Okay. And this is the UN that will pop up once you cross the finish line. So basically for this, I designed it myself. Wasn't really too much into it. Yeah, I basically colored it, kept it bold, made the outline a 10 so you can see the red around it. And for the HUD, this is basically for the timer. This adds on to the timer as well. As soon as it starts begin play, you'll see it on top of your screen, and you add it to the viewport, and yeah, you'll be able to see the timer. For the hammer, hold on, I forgot to show you the graph for it. This is basically the graph for the win screen. It's real short. It's like a little delay for 3 seconds. So it will stay on there for 3 seconds and then go away, and then it will remove itself. For the HUD, I already explained the HUD. For the hammer, I added a hit component, cast it to the character I'm using, and I did have a ragdoll animation. That's another blooper you'll see at the end of this breakdown. But yeah, basically just add a hit component so he'll be able to make contact with the character. And this is the construction script, construction script. And this is basically how I managed to have a clockwise option for the rotation for the hammer. And after I got done with this, you'll be able to see it if I can click a hammer. And it's right here. Alright. If I can get back to it. Then this is the seesaw. So the seesaw doesn't have a event graph construction script. Well, for the seesaw, let me find the viewport for it. For the seesaw, it was real simple, very simple. You just add a physics constraint and add 2 components. And then for the swinging, or for the way it moves, you just lock the first swing motion and the twist motion. That way it doesn't, move, like rotate around when you make contact with it. And then you leave this free, so that way when you jump on it, it'll go up and down like a regular seesaw. And that's basically it for the breakdown. I'll show you my game. Alright. Alright. As you can see, my time I made it was 1 minute 38 seconds. And as for that blooper, I promised y'all, it was just a little extra. This is what happens when I tried to add the ragdoll animation. Yep. Yep, that happened. But yeah, that would be it for my game. Really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, keep in mind this was all ran on a Mac, so I'm sorry for the bad quality or if it's slow. But yeah.